I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're diving into a journey of transformation and faith with Valerie Turner's amazing book. It is called Unlock the Ruth in You. Relinquish Your Problems to Unveil His Promises. It is inspired by the biblical story of Ruth, and this book offers insights on how to navigate life's changes and deepen your relationship with God. It is a powerful guide for anyone seeking to embrace their purpose and discover God's promises. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. We ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Valerie, welcome to our show. Thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much for having me, Logan.
It's my pleasure. This story is based, in part at least, on the story of Ruth from the Bible. Why does the story of Ruth have such an impactful message, do you feel?
Well, I just think it's a beautiful story. It's a story in the Bible. It's a 4-chapter story. But Ruth, she came from a place that did not know God, and she didn't know. She didn't have that relationship with God. Didn't know Him. But when she came in contact with Naomi, is when she began to see that there was a one and true God. So that when she made that connection with Ruth, it allowed her to tap into the purpose that God had for her life. And I just love the way the story turned out for her.
And she was blessed 100-fold for her kindness and loyalty to Naomi as well, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What would you
She
say the
was,
key?
she was.
Yeah, without a doubt. What do you think the key lessons are that readers can learn from Ruth's journey in the Bible?
Well, I think the lessons are um a lot of times you can have gifts inside of you. You can have, we all have a purpose, but there are many people that think that there is no purpose for their lives. They haven't tapped into the purpose that God has for them. And sometimes it takes you to encounter someone or change your environment to tap into God's purpose for your life. And that's what happened with Ruth. When she came, had that divine connection with Naomi, that allowed her to see that there is something much more to my life than Moab. When she met Naomi, her mother-in-law, her relationship with her, first of all, she was very loyal to her. When her husband died, she stayed connected to her mother-in-law. And a lot of people may not do that. They may feel like, well, I need to just move on with my life. I don't have my husband anymore. So why should I stay connected to my mother-in-law? To a mother-in-law of my deceased husband. But she stayed connected to her. And I know that, with her staying loyal to her mother-in-law, I know that that helped in opening the door for the Lord to bless her the way that He did, with that connection that she had with Naomi.
What does it mean to unlock the Ruth within you?
Well, in order to gain access, you have to have keys. And unlock the Ruth in you, I wanted, when readers saw that title, I wanted them to know that, hey, it is a Ruth inside of you. There is a better version of yourself, because a lot of times people may not think that they're good enough, or they may not feel like they are in a place where they can feel the better things of life, the better that life can bring. But Unlock the Ruth in You, it's a book that gives you keys so that you can find out and figure out that, hey, what I need is already inside of me. But it's things that I have to do. It's steps that I have to take in order to tap into it. But everything you need is already in you. It's just you have to make better decisions. It's you have to make better decisions, wise decisions in order to unlock the Ruth in you. But she's already there.
Exactly. Let's talk a little bit about prayer. What role does prayer play in discovering your purpose?
Well, prayer, the Bible tells us, the word tells us to pray without ceasing. And when you pray, it's you having a relationship with God, because prayer is you talking to God. And if a person does not pray, that means that they're not talking to God. So the more you talk to God, the more you can get to know him, the more that you could feel that closeness with him. And the more you get to know God, that's how you get to know who you are. But the further we are away from God, that's how long we stay lost. And the way that you can find your way is to pray daily. It doesn't mean that you're going to be praying all day long, but you have a habit of praying daily, that habit of talking to God daily. You feel the importance. And once the more you do it, the natural it feels. You don't feel like, hey, I got to go pray, but you can be in your car and you just say a little simple prayer here and there. And that's just you building that prayer life. But that prayer life, it draws you closer to God.
Exactly. It's having God with you always if you're constantly
Right.
in conversation with God. And like you said, it doesn't mean hitting your knees all day, every day, but it does
Exactly.
mean being mindful to the presence of God and thankful for all that He has given us and asking His guidance at times when we're
Yes.
challenged. How do you feel your book can guide someone who is going through a season of change or uncertainty?
Well, with the journey that Ruth took, with her losing her husband, losing her brother-in-law, losing her father-in-law, and uh, coming from a place that did not know God, with her making the decision to leave Moab. A lot of times you probably feel like, since this is all that I know, how do I change? But again, it goes back to those divine connections. Sometimes when you don't know the way, the Lord will send someone to help guide you. And it's not that they're doing it, it's Him working through those divine connections to help lead you. But this book, it helps you to navigate through change. It encourages people that, hey, it's okay to leave a place that you've known all your life, to start over, to start fresh. It's okay if, just say Orpah, she left. Ruth knew Orpah much longer than she knew Naomi. But Orpah decided to stay in Moab, to go back to Moab, excuse me. So you have to be okay with people leaving out of your life, because that all comes together. It'll all work together for your good. With people leaving your life, with you making the decision to change environments, to change the relationships. All of these things work together for change, for the better for you.
Absolutely. Wonderful advice, wonderful insight. The name of the book is Unlock the Ruth in You, Relinquish Your Problems to Unveil His Promises. It is inspired by the biblical story of Ruth. And in this book, you will find insights on how to navigate life's changes and deepen your relationship with God. Valerie, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate your time and your insight. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time until next time on Spotlight.